Hello everyone, how are you doing again? Welcome back to the second part of this video. So for the last time, this is where we stopped for the last time. So we're going to continue and stop in this bead right here. So here I am in the last bead. I'm adding 2 black beads to my line. And I'm going to cross again with my right line and pull. So now that we stop in that bead, we are going to continue in this bead, the second bead over here. I'm going to work my way again with the line into the bead, so we continue from there. I'm just making my way into the next bead over here. So this is what we have now. This is where my line is. My line is in this bead over here, this one right here, and I'm going to flip it over to my side to continue. And here I'm adding 3 beads, 2 black and 1 orange. Next bead, one black, 1 orange. I'm going to go to the next bead again. And I'll be adding 1 black bead and 1 orange again, like this. Into the next bead, because I want the black bead on the edge of the piece, that's why I'm putting black first before the orange. Into the next. Over here, I'll be adding 1 black and 1 orange again. And now into the next bead. This is the last bead that I'm going to go through over here. And I'll be adding 2 black beads to complete this piece. Alright. This is how the design is looking like. So this is one wing that we complete. I'm going to weave the rest of the line into the bead and then trim it off. So this is how it's looking like, okay? This is one part of the wing that we complete. So pretty. This is the butterfly. This is how it's looking like. So if you make this, you have to make another one again. Let me put it like this. Let me turn it this way so it can show really good. So this is the second one that I've made, okay? You put it together like this. That is how it makes sense. Make sure you line it perfectly. You line it correctly, okay? So now that we put these 2 pieces together, let me trim some of the lines that I left in the bead. I'm just trimming it off, okay? So now these 2 pieces, I'm going to show you how we are going to put it together. These are the 2 pieces that we made. Very pretty. That's a butterfly shape. Line it well. And I'm going to show you how we are going to put it together. Let me cut some line and let's continue. So right here, here's my line that I cut, okay? I'm going to go through this bead. I leave the first one and I'm going through the second bead. Going through that bead. And I'm going to add 1 orange bead. Put it together nicely. I'm adding 1 orange bead onto my line. Then I'm going to go through this bead over here, the opposite piece, this one. I'm going through that bead. Pull it. Then I'm going to cross both ends of my line into this bead and pull like this, very beautifully. This is how we are going to join the piece. So right now I'm going to go through these 2 beads on the piece, okay? These 2. I'm going through the left and pulling my line through the right bead on the other piece. So I'm going to take one orange bead again and cross both ends of my line into it and pull. Just pull and pull tight. All right, I'm going to go through the next two again. Take one bead, cross both ends of the line into the bead and pull. This is how we are going to join the piece together. Now I'm going through this bead again. I'm crossing my line into this bead and pull. So this is how we are going to continue. This is how it's looking like. Okay, we are just going to continue and complete it. And now I'm about to complete. I'm going through the next bead, crossing my line into that bead and pull, and now into the last bead that we are done with putting these two pieces together. Now the line, this is how it's looking like. Very beautiful, very beautiful butterfly. You use bead to make this. So what we are going to do here, we are going to continue. You see the orange bead in the middle here makes everything looks beautiful. So over here we are going to leave the front view over here. The front view over here, we're going to leave it. Edge we are going to leave. Then we are going to start on the edges round. Let me turn it this way. I put my line into the first bead and I add 3 beads. This line into the next bead. This over here we are doing 4 flower beading. Okay, I add 2 beads to my line. 4 flower beading. If you watch my channel, you know what 4 flower beading is. So you just continue to make 4 flower beading around the edges. I add 2 beads to my line and I'm going to cross the other line to the last bead and pull. I'm going to go into the next bead. This is how it's looking like. Okay, this is what we are going to build around the edges, the edge of this piece. Into the next bead. And add 2 beads to it. 2 beads. Into the next bead. 2 beads. This is how the weaving is looking like. So I'm going to go through the next bead again. And I'll be adding 2 beads. So this is what we are going for. This is the weave, 4 flower beading. We are going to weave this round the edge. You're going to go round into each bead and add 2 beads round the edge of this piece. Okay, that's how we are going to weave around it. Very beautiful. So continue to do yours and I'll do mine off camera and I'll come back and meet you here. This is how it's looking like. Very beautiful, very beautiful. So this is how it's looking like. I'm done weaving around the edge and this is how it's looking like. Okay, now I'm in my last bead over here and I'm going to weave again on it. I'm going to add 1 more layer on it. So this line, 2 beads. That way I can turn again and weave back around the edge and build on it 1 time. So this line, 3 bead. I'm going to make 2 layers. So we're done with first, and now we are starting the second layer. I'm going to the next bead, and I'll be adding 2 bead. Add 2 bead to my line, cross, go to the next bead, and add 2 bead. Bead. So this is how the weave is looking like. We are going to continue to build one more layer on it. This is how it's looking like, very pretty. Okay, now I'm done doing the second layer on it, and if you complete yours, this is something you should have. This is what you should have. You go round and go through each bead and add 2 beads. So this is what we have. Look at the edge. Look at how pretty this is looking already. So when you do this, you have to do another one of these, and here's the second one. So let me show you how we are going to put this together and make it into a bag. We are just going to put these 2 pieces together like we did for the first part, the first 2 pieces that we made. This is my fresh line that I cut, and I'm going to go through the edge bead over here, this bead. I'm pulling my line through the edge bead. So I'm adding 1 bead to my line, this bead. Add it to the line, hold the line, and go through the edge beads of the other piece, like this. Pull. So from here, I'm going to take a bead and cross both ends of my line into that bead and pull. Like this. I'm going to go through the next bead. These 2 bead, the next 2 bead, that's what I'm going through. Cross both ends of my line into that bead and pull. I'm going to go through the next bead, this line into the next bead. So go through each bead on both pieces. Take a bead and cross both ends of your line into the bead and pull. Like this. Make sure you are pulling tight. I'm going to the next one too. This is how it's looking like. Very, very beautiful. So I'm going to go through the next bead one more time, then I'll continue to complete the rest of camera. I'm crossing both ends of my line into this bead and pull. Pull and pull tight. Very nice and very pretty. So if you are doing it, this is how it's going to emerge very nicely. The side, this is how the side is going to look like. I'm going to continue to weave around this shape until I complete it, until I come to the last end. This is how it's looking like. Very, very beautiful. Very beautiful, very nice and easy. This is a simple weave. This butterfly beaded bag is very, very simple to weave. There are so many ways to do it, but this is my version of making it. Okay, now what we have to put on it is a handle to make it a complete bag. So I'm going to show you how we are going to add the handle to it. You can make the handle long or short for yourself. It's just for your preference. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Also, please show your support for this channel by clicking the join button. Thank you. So let me get a fresh line. This is what we have, and let me show you how we are going to attach handle on this. You see the side, we have 5 bead over here, 5. Okay, I'm going to go through, this is my line, and I'm going to go through the middle bead, the middle bead over there, 5. So 2 on the side, go through the middle like this. Okay, so the first 3rd bead, that's where I use, and I'm going to do 4 flower beading over here. So I put 1 bead on each line. I'm going to cross both ends of my line into this bead and pull like this. I'm adding 1 bead on each line again, and crossing both ends of my line into this bead and pull like this. Let's repeat another one. One bead on each end. Take another bead, cross both ends of your line into the bead and pull like what I'm doing over here. Another bead, one bead on each line. I'm crossing both ends of my line into the bead and pull. So this is what we are going to repeat to do until we make it long. So what I'm going to do, this is how it's looking like. Very beautiful, very simple handle. I'm going to weave and make this 10. So this is 10 that I made, okay? I made 10 and I'm going to continue with black, make 10 black, then I'll do the pattern orange, black, orange, black. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm starting here with black bead, okay? One on each line, and I'm going to cross both ends of my line again into the black bead and pull. So this is how the pattern is going to look like. 10, then I'm going to continue with black 10, and then continue with the orange, then do black like a pattern, and make it how long your desired length that you want for the bag. Make it long like that. So I'm going to continue and then complete it and make it how long I want it to be. Alright, I'm back with my strap, and this is how long I weave it up to. Okay, I make a twist a little bit. Let me untwist it. So I make this pattern with the bead, the colors of the bead. So I make orange, black, orange, black, orange, black as a pattern. Very simple. You can't do any sophisticated with this butterfly beaded bag because it will not look good. So I use all the colors. I use just the colors of the bag. So this is what I'm going to do. We are going to attach this to this end. We are going to attach this piece onto the end. So what I'm going to do here, this is the strap. I'm going to add one bead to my line. I'm going to add one bead to this end, add one to the other end again, like this. Okay, do it like this. And what I'm going to do here, let me show you. So over here too we have 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the middle over here, we are going to leave there this one. We are going to cross our line into it, cross into it, pull. I'm going to pull right here. Okay, you pull tight, then I'm going to go through the bead. I'm going to go through this bead over here, see, and pull the other one too. I'm coming through the bead on the other side. I'm going to go to this bead right here. Sometimes the holes are very close, so you have to push it through. And I'm going to cross both ends of my line into this one. I'm going to cross again both of them. This is where my line is. I'm going to cross it in this one. Cross. And cross the other one again. Let me turn it this way for you guys to see. Sometimes I feel like the camera is now showing everything. So push and pull. So the rest of this line, just weave it into the bead and pull. And this is how the bag is looking like. Very beautiful. Let me show you how to make the antenna. So I'm going to pull my beading line into it to lift it up a little bit so we can do the antenna. Okay, here's my line. I'm going to go through this bead right here, this bead. So I'm pulling my line through this orange bead over here. Okay, then I'm going to go through this. The line is in this bead. I'm going to go through this black bead. Okay, pull those both ends of the line through this first black bead up, come up, come through the next bead and come up. This is where the line is, 2 over there. So this is our 2 antennae. What I'm going to do, I'm going to string bead, black bead on it. String, what I'm going to string like 12 on it. Not too long, not too short, but you can do it how long you want it. Yes, so let me count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I add 2 more. This is how it's looking like. Now I'm going to pull 1 orange bead on. This is how it's looking like. Okay, this is 12 that I string, so I'm adding 1 orange bead to make the cloud. Okay, like this. This is what you have to do. Now I'm going to push this orange bead back, push it back, then go through all the beads. I'm going to go through all the beads and go back. Go through all this bead. To go, don't forget 1, okay? Make sure you go through every single bead over here. So you're going to do the same to the other line too. You're just going to string the bead on it, pull and pull tight. Not too tight, but you have to leave a little bit of room. I'm going through this black bead over here. This is how it's looking like. So let me do the other one too. Here's the line. I'm going to string the bead like how we did for the first one. So please count your bead. As you're doing yours, I want you to count so that you have the same number of bead you're working with. Okay, in beading you have to count a lot. If you're not counting, you're going to make a mistake. That will make the whole project for you very crooked and will not look very nice. Please show your support for this channel by clicking the join button and becoming a member today. Thank you. So make sure you take a little time and count. So I did it like how we did the first one, like this. And now I'm going to push the orange bead forward. Just ignore that one and go back through only the black bead. So go through all the bead. Go through all this bead. Don't leave one. Make sure the line is going through everything, every bead, one by one. Just going back, going through, make sure I'm going through all the bead. And this is how it's looking like. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through this last bead on the back. This last bead that we went through on the back, I'm going through it, and I'm going to cross both ends of my line into the orange bead again and pull, pull this line into this bead again, this orange bead. So go back through, hold the other line and go back, go through it again. You are just crossing both ends into that bead and pull. And now, so for the antennae, use your hand to pull it away from each other, then before you pull your line, so they can separate. Over here, I'm just weaving the rest of my line into the bead so it can be secured before I trim it off. I'm just trimming all my line off, my loose lines in the bead over here. Okay, let me take away my fishing line from the bag so you can take a great look at this beautiful butterfly beaded bag. This is how it's looking like. This is our project. Very beautiful, very beautiful, very pretty, gorgeous. You can make it for your friends, your loved ones. You can also make it for yourself. Look at the antenna. Very beautiful, very pretty. Isn't this beautiful? Look like a real butterfly. This is the inside of it. If you like, you can make the antennae over here too, on the opposite side of it. So the handle and the antenna, just make it how you prefer, okay? You can make the antenna on the other side of the bag too. This is how it's looking like. This is the handle and this is our bag. Very, very beautiful, very elegant. So I hope this video is helpful to you on how to make and design your own butterfly beaded bag. If you haven't watched the first part yet, please do so you don't miss out on how to start. And also, please join the membership to help support this channel. Thank you. Thank you for your time, and I thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. And I will see you again in my next video. Bye.